Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Here basically we are discussing about another topic, that is city creation. In this basically we are discussing about one example basically. I uploaded resume and one of the person basically who was connected with the Microsoft blood cells basically. He was basically one of the family member of that particular blood cells, and SAP blood cells basically one of the family member basically uploaded that resume. So recruiter will ignore SUNIL NAIR resume. Why? Because it's not connected with any of the blood cells basically. It's not connected with any of the blood cells. So they will literally basically, that database will say that basically just there is no value basically of SUNIL NAIR. So ignore it. Assume that basically that recruiter basically was from Bangalore city or Mumbai city, or basically assume that Pune city basically. Assume basically. So now basically what are the things going to happen? That three city basically ignored my resume, that is basically Sunil Arnaya's resume, and they basically immediately saw that resume basically which was uploaded by one of the Microsoft person basically groups, and basically the SAP person created blood cells group basically. They immediately basically calls that person basically and say that basically you uploaded the resume basically in this basically, and there is one opportunity for that for that basically we require the opportunities of the software delivery head, and you want to apply, you want to basically give an interview, then it was because your requirement basically matches to our profile, so you want to give an interview, then into that yes basically I want to give an interview. Like this basically the interview basically gets fixed basically. Like this basically they give the interview and they basically have to take that particular person. Why? Because he is connected with Microsoft and SAP blood cells basically. And if that will the resume basically which was taken by the Mumbai, Pune or Bangalore city, if they will ignore, then basically the city basically will suffer. Reason basically is Microsoft blood cells is connected with 200 crore people basically. Assume that basically 25% population, that is around 1 crore of Bangalore and 1 crore of Pune and 1 crore of Mumbai city basically, they will get the reaction basically, you can say, of that Microsoft blood cells basically, which was rejected by the one recruitment company basically. Due to that recruitment company basically, the entire people basically who are connected with the Microsoft blood cells basically, they are going to get effect. So they know the recruitment team basically know basically the seriousness of the resume basically, whose resume is supposed to ignore. For example, they ignored my resume. There is because there is no value basically, nothing is going to affect basically, but they not ignore that particular people resume basically, because he was connected with Microsoft blood cells and SAP blood cells basically. That's why basically. So see the difference between, and the recruitment people basically, they know basically that whose blood cells is supposed to ignore and whose blood cells is not supposed to ignore. So they have not ignored that blood cells, and they basically taken that particular person, and they ignored my blood cells, and then nothing is going to happen, because they know basically that nothing is going to happen to Pune city, Mumbai city and Bangalore city. So they ignored it. Why? Because in the database of their basically recruitment basically it's written that basically ignore that particular person, he is not connected with any of the blood cells basically. He is not connected with any of the blood cells, so ignore it. Like this basically they ignores the resume of Sunil NAIR, and they given the interview call of that particular person basically, and they basically taken the interview and they basically selected also basically. So just see the power of Microsoft blood cells, SAP blood cells and Java blood cells basically. So you can just imagine basically the power of the Microsoft blood cells basically. So this is one example, right? And we basically saw that also basically what actually the politics is, Microsoft politics, that will create to issue to Mumbai city, Pune city and the Bangalore city, because that issue is going. For example, they have not taken that particular person's biodata, they have ignored that particular person basically, that is the connected with the Microsoft blood cells basically, or basically SAP or Java blood cells. So it will convert to the issue basically, and the issues basically are taken care from the political people basically, that is the sitting in the Parliament House and the Sansad Bhavan basically, in the Bangalore and in the Delhi basically. So up to that level basically the effect happens basically. So here basically about Sunil or NAIR, Sunil or NAIR uploaded the resume. They will see, they might not see also basically because there are thousands of resume basically uploaded. So who is going to see? Ignore this basically. So like this basically they do basically. Because they know basically that nothing is going to happen basically in the city basically. So currently we are discussing what 35 words which is basically got to the Microsoft, and in this basically 35 words basically they created 3 to 4 city basically that is given as a name as a Microsoft city, and that story basically is connected with this 35 words basically, and that 35 words basically on the basis of 35 words basically they created the city, and the blood cells basically which was used, that was that 7 lakh people's blood cells basically, 7 lakh groups blood cells, people's group based blood cells basically. So you can just imagine basically the power of the blood cells basically. So here basically we have taken that basically Microsoft blood cells, SAP blood cells, this blood cells, Java, Pascal, phone, each and everything blood cells, which basically got the data of 35 words basically. And this group basically, this group, this group, this group, this group, Python, Pascal, COBOL, this whole group basically gives the each and every words to Accenture, Capgemini, Patni, then Accenture, then IBM, then eClarex, then Larsen and Toubro, then Numerator, then Rishabh Groups, then basically Softtech Bank is also one of the oldest company basically. Then basically the Oracle Corporation basically they gets directly blood cells basically. So here basically I will add Oracle also, because Oracle gets direct data basically. Then basically the 3i Infotech is there. Then basically we will see the software company list only basically. Software companies in India basically. So list of Indian software company basically. See basically these all are the software companies. TCS is there, Infosys is there, Wipro is there, HCL is there. See basically Tech Mahindra is there, L&T is there, Oracle Finance is there, L&T, LT Mindtree is there, LTI Mindtree basically. That might be some short form basically, LT of Mindtree. Then Emphasis is there, 3i Infotech, Excel, Atoms, Blue Star, CDEX, CMC, Cognizant, Collabora. See basically Data Matrix actually started just in front of me only basically. There were 50 to 60 members basically. Like this basically they started their company basically. Then Godrej Infotech basically there, eClarex is there, KPIT is there. KPIT also started in front of me only basically. Mustech is there, Microsoft, these all are big corporations. Precedence, this also started there. So next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about this topic, that is basically the software companies that are UST, Unisys. Unisys also basically is banking domains of company basically. Zansar is there, then Rediff.com is there, Mustech is there, KPIT is there. Like this basically many companies, eClarex is there. So in next video basically we are going to see little bit more about this.